I just want to talk real quick about the Z's suing Roseanne because she tweeted their address. So, first and foremost, we all know their shit was public information. She didn't tweet anything that we all couldn't readily find by just Googling Robert and Gladys racist Zimmerman. We would have found all the same information Roseanne tweeted that she deleted like within 10 seconds. So, they file suit against her, and they claim in their lawsuit that she was the reason and that tweet was the reason that forced them out of their house. Except for the fact that we all know, well, those of us who know the truth and keep up with this shit, know that Daddy Z did a interview with Renee Stutzman from the... Looks like my eyes are really fucking black, but it's the shadows. Anyways, they did an interview, the Daddy Z did an interview with Renee Stutzman from the Orlando Sentinel 2 weeks before Roseanne tweeted the tweet. And he told her that they had already fled the house because of death threats and what have you. So, that's their lie in their lawsuit. It's very easily proven. Renee will be called as a witness if it ever makes it to trial, which it won't. But she'd be called as a witness, and she'd have to get up there and say, yeah, here's my notes, and she might even have a tape recording of it. Who knows? But why I'm addressing this is because, these articles get posted online, and, the Z Clan comes out in fucking full force, all 12 of them that are still left. So, what I'm interested to know from you fucking idiots is, why is it that none of you will address the fact that the Zimmermans lied in their lawsuit? You keep brushing over that. You keep coming back to, Zimmerman wasn't found guilty of murder. He was acquitted. Yep, he sure was acquitted. But acquitted does not mean innocent. And if y'all think acquitted means innocent, then Casey Anthony is out of work and looking for babysitting jobs. So any of you with small toddlers, I think you should give her a chance because we know she's not a murderer. She was acquitted. Somebody needs to be out there looking for the real murderer of that baby. Because we know that acquitted supposedly now means not guilty. So you Z people, get out there and help Casey Anthony. She's been wrongly accused all these years. And I always like to bring her up because it's the truth. We all know that that bitch killed that baby, threw her out in the fucking swamp, and went out and partied for 30 days. We all know it. But the state of Florida chose to charge her with first-degree murder. They couldn't prove that shit, so she walked. The same thing happened with Z, except he got a fucking racist 5.5 white woman jury and a half a fucking loser cunt, who was just as racist as could be and was not going to do anything they could for the justice of the murder that he did to a black kid that he followed and stalked and chased and confronted and then eventually murdered. We knew that was going to happen. So yes, he was acquitted. So was Casey Anthony, and she needs a job. Somebody sign her up a account on care.com because she's a fabulous, wonderful mother who was wrongly accused, and we all know that. So I want the Z people to address why it's okay for the Zimmermans to clearly lie in a lawsuit, and you have no problems with that. But if you backtrack to when the trial was happening and before the trial, every little thing that came out about Trayvon Martin, from his parents, from his lawyers, it didn't matter where it came from, you all would say that was a lie. They lied because of X, Y, and Z, whatever. So every one of their supposed lies you focused in on. But this one huge lie that will destroy the Zimmerman's entire case, none of you refuse to address. And if you do address it, you seem to think that it's okay, or that it's, Renee Stutzman lied, or whatever. So, the way I look at the Roseanne tweet is, you know what? She might have tweeted out the address, and, fucking Henry rock that motherfucker. The socks on that motherfucker. But anyways, back to what I was talking about. When Roseanne tweeted the tweet, she didn't tweet that, please go to Mama Z and Daddy Z's house and shoot George Zimmerman and his parents and Alzheimer's having grandma. That didn't happen. She simply tweeted out the address and then she deleted it. But let's say that she didn't delete it. Let's say that she just tweeted it and left it at that. Just the address. Robert and Gladys Zimmerman, blah, 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 whatever, Lake Mary, Florida, whatever. Big fucking deal. The way I look at it, number one, it was all public information. So anybody could have looked it up with a simple Google search and found it. Number two, do you remember when that good mother Casey Anthony was out on bail and the whole world was embracing her and, you know, reminding her that she was falsely accused and these were ridiculous charges? Do you remember that? Do you remember how the world embraced her and hugged her and said, we're behind you, Casey? They went to her parents' house with signs and angry voices and they protested the fuck out of it because they didn't want a baby killer in their neighborhood. So if Roseanne, or when Roseanne tweeted that, to me, that's exactly what it meant. Go show up at that motherfucker's parents' house because they're probably the ones hiding him, even though now we know that he was at Mark Osterman's and he lied too about when he fled and why he fled. Whole nother story. But to me, that was Roseanne's intent. People that lived in that neighborhood, or, you know, even within a certain radius of there, they had a right to know that there was a child molesting child killer in their neighborhood. And they had a right to know that his parents were in that neighborhood. Whether you want to believe that's the truth or not, wait till there's a child molesting child murderer in your neighborhood that's possibly even killed your kid. Wait until that happens and then see how your tune changes. Because people don't want child molesting, out of control, confrontational, women beating, cop hitting, dog kicking, sexually molesting child murderers in their neighborhood. It's a threat. They don't want that. Roseanne tweeted that as a public service is how I see it. She was telling everybody in that neighborhood, this is where you need to go. This is where you need to avoid if you have children because this man might kill them. And he has parents who are just as fucking racist as they are. But the point is, remember Casey Anthony. Nobody got pissed off because the world was protesting at her house. And she's an innocent woman, remember? Because we all agree that acquitted now means innocent in America. If George Zimmerman is innocent because he was acquitted, then so is Casey Anthony. So I just want the world to remember how we embraced Casey Anthony and why what Roseanne did was perfectly acceptable. So, thank you to all the normal people out there who don't support child murder. And to those of you who do support child murder and lying in court documents, you're fucking idiots and you're racist, and each and every one of you needs some George Zimmerman justice.